Hello. Right, welcome back. So, welcome back to Twilight 2000. This would be our 10th episode, our 10th episode in the series, 10th full episode, I believe, in the series. I'm thinking maybe we'll take it to 20. So we'll do another 10, maybe another 10. I'm not too sure, depends how the story takes us. And then no matter what is happening in the story, I think I'm going to take a break at 20 and we'll switch to something else for a while. But as long as the team is still going, and we haven't reached that border yet, but we'll see what books that get released and if we can see anything about Germany or heading home. And we'll see if we can continue story heading home. I mean, it's taking us quite a while to move through the map, so it should take a while. Anyway. Enough of the waiting. Thank you very much for joining. Please hit like if you like what I'm doing. If you haven't subscribed, I do encourage you to subscribe because it helps our numbers grow, it helps us surface, it helps more people see this, and it gives me a nice little glowy feeling inside my tummy. And if you have any comments, I'm loving everyone's comments and I'm loving the feedback I'm getting from people. I'm incorporating bits which I am about to mention now. Somebody commented that it drags a bit when I do the XP, so I'm going to stop doing XP on camera. If it's in the flow, I will just cut that bit out and tell you what happens. So I did XP just now. No one got any additional skills. I just gave everyone 3 XP because they transitioned through squares and they did some fighting. I don't think anyone really did the moral code stuff. Moving on, I was thinking, so as we ended last session, staff had asked Jack, who is the hip fractured combat engineer who had joined the party, the Scouser. Right there, like, it's Jack, because it's a very throaty language in it, like, the Liverpudlian accent, like. And I gotta keep saying like, because otherwise I can't do it. Anyway, Jack, oh God, I embarrassed myself. Jack had been asked to set booby traps. Now what I was thinking between when I recorded that and now is someone also suggested they need a vehicle. Now to get enough of this stuff up, they might need a vehicle. Also, it means they travel by roads, and also we might be able to have a roadblock, which might be quite cool if we can get a roadblock type of encounter. But anyway, so I was in two minds whether to do that or not. And so what we might do, otherwise we've got like just moving up through the encounter bits. So just to remind you, let's grab the map. And also someone suggested doing full screen for the maps for these bits. And so I did that in the last one and I'll do that for this one as well. So just to remind you, if you join us for the first time, go back through the catalogue, watch the other ones. So we are here where there was an airdrop of some supplies that we fought a very small, because we ran a very small, I was expecting to be much larger, a battle. But we need to head back up through and past Estresov to where we left Harrison Bott, who has a fractured spine. Up here, Harrison still has quite a long time to go to heal, and we need to transverse back up. If we're traveling, that is potentially either a full day's, like a shift's worth of travel, carrying not that, like we've got more stuff than we can carry up, or we can go in the Jeep and attempt to either go cross country, but we could get, someone did mention doing navigation rolls. I think it was Will. I think Will mentioned doing navigation rolls. I honestly don't think traversing in this type of terrain with the type of landmarks, you can really, I mean, I've gone backpacking, like with a backpack, going cross country in areas like this, all over Europe, all over England, and it's really, like I can get lost in a big park, but it doesn't, you're not like lost. You can find, you're not proper lost. But I've been out on moors and out on the Mount Brecon Beacons. You can get lost in the Brecon Beacons. This isn't the Brecon Beacons. If I put them in a desert or in the Brecon Beacons or across like moorland, you can walk around in circles and not know where you are because there's no real landmarks to catch. Or if the frost, like the mist comes, it's when you're climbing a mountain, when you go, like I've done Ben Nevis and various other things. I did what's called the 6 Peaks Challenge. And Ben Nevis, at the top of Ben Nevis in the middle of June, was snowing and it goes foggy. And when it goes foggy, what you're told to do is you sit down and you let the fog go. Because if you go wandering around, you will get lost and fall off something. So you just sit down and let the fog go. You can get lost in that. Fair. Here, you're not going to get lost here. Maybe if you travel right through these woods, yes. But you just keep moving forwards. Like, to go wandering around in circles, I mean, I've known a few squaddies, and I think at least 50% of them wouldn't get lost. The other 50% I would guarantee would have got lost, but they'd get lost in Ostresov because they would just go in the pub and they would be lost within minutes. But anyway, so we're not going to do navigation rolls, but in a car possibly, going cross country in a car possibly, because you can't just walk around a tree. You have to try and traverse a muddy area and do like whatever the cross country track stuff is, and this truck won't do it. I should really cut all that because that was all pointless. Anyway, so we need to traverse back up to this hex here to get back up to Harrison and make sure hopefully Harrison is okay. But we'll do some rolls if he does. So I was thinking about one way or another, do we take the truck? Do we ask to staff ask Jack, oi, Jack, mate, get the bombs and explosives off the truck, stick them on some of the crates and booby trap. Matt, set some traps so as whatever geezer comes and tries to get the stuff, there ain't no stuff, they just blow their arse off, all right? Because we're going to take this truck and half a tank of fuel and see how far we can get up to your mate. Because I'm in no mood and bloody McCoy's hurt, and so I want to get McCoy up there and rested up as soon as possible, all right? So I reckon that's what he's going to say. He was going to want McCoy in the truck to get him up there as soon as possible. It also gives us a chance that we can roll some form of roadblock type encounter that we can do at some point, which might be quite cool. A bit of a roadblock, lots of heavy weapons going off and diving cinematically. So, morning of the 29th of April, as we're just doing this, recounting, let's see, how long have we been going for? All right, I think we started on the 19th of April, year 2000, Wednesday the 19th of April. We are now on the 29th of April, which would be, so the 29th of April is a Saturday. So it's Saturday, the 29th of April, the year 2000, in the morning. So they're gonna, instead, Jack will take the explosives off of the truck. They will booby trap, so we'll use the same role of booby trapping one of the trucks. I also think that after this truck and these explosions going off, they're going to start, whomever, so Jacob, I think the name was, of the commander, is going to start to get a bit pissed off that there's somebody out there causing problems. He's going to soon work out that somebody out there causing problems, and we'll start to send, in very much, because I was thinking in the whole Red Dawn, the original Red Dawn, not the remake, I've not seen it. The original Red Dawn, where because the Wolverines are causing so many problems, they send someone out. Now, I reckon the Commander Jacob, after this group is found and the booby traps are set, if they set off and kill some people, then he's going to start sending people out, and we might be able to do sort of being tracked down for a bit. That might be quite exciting as well, storyline wise. But for now, we've got the morning of the 29th of April, Saturday. They haven't slept, so they are all sleep deprived. We will, because we won't bother making stamina rolls to stay awake, because they need to some activity. There for the first shift, I think they will attempt to travel, won't they? They're going to be driving. So someone will drive. Basically, Jane has the best agility. Driving is under agility. Everybody else has a B. I don't think Staff is going to want Jane driving. Staff is going to want Jane in the back, ready to do something useful. Probably, if everyone's got the same agility, I would get Doc to drive, because he's the most useless shot out of everybody. Let's think. Is he the most useless shot of everybody? Yes, he is. He's got a D. So Doc is the worst shot, and okay. So let's say Jack is given an M16. Jane has her M16, because we did have an M16 left over, didn't we? Yes, we did. The M16 that the operator had. So Jack has an M16. Jane has an M16. Staff has his. Oh no, Jack can be on the back on the heavy weapon. Staff can get an M16. Jane has an M16. Doc is driving. McCoy is going to be on staff's lap, and they're going to attempt to drive with the tank, and we will say that if they get up to the top with no roadblocks, then they will run out of fuel. So they are going to attempt to follow the road up from and go, maybe they're not going to want to go through or stress off, are they? So maybe we will take the road around and then attempt to go cross country up and around. Now this truck, let me look them up. Right, it says it's 8/1. Light truck 8/1. It means it can do 8 hexes on the road and 1 hex off road per shift. So we will travel from where we were up onto the road. We'll call that not that far. And then we're going to attempt to go 1, 2, and then 3. So we're going to attempt to get to... Okay, we've picked up that one, so we don't need that. So where were we? We were here. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then attempt to go cross country up this way and end up in this hex here. So for the first shift, we are going to attempt to drive up and across, or Docky's up there. So we have, okay, we are going to have staff watching. Jack is going to drive. No, sorry, Doc is driving. Then we will have Jane is in the back resting, and Jack is in the back resting for the morning shift. So this is the morning shift as we attempt to drive to here. So we'll do rolls. So we'll do rolls for everyone and see how we go. This is going to be, so if we do break into a combat, I'm doing combat next session because the last few sessions have been over an hour. I want this session to be about half hour, 40 minutes. We'll see how we roll. If we hit combat before then it might be shorter. This one may be shorter. So we will have, so if we have Jack and Jane resting, that means I don't think that counts. I think that counts as just resting. I don't think they'll get their sleep because we don't want them sleeping just in case all hell breaks off. But I think they do recover. So we've got, no, that's sleep, isn't it? Hold on, let me look it up. Okay, yes. So you can recover from damage if you are resting. So resting is equivalent of recovering from damage, but it doesn't count as sleep for sleep deprivation. So they don't use sleep deprivation, but Jane and Jack, whilst resting, can heal, which means that I think Jack, we'll say Jack has recovered in his hip. He's no longer giving him that mobility problem, so he's no longer got his critical energy. I think, well, previously I wasn't too sure about Jack joining. I think we're going to have potentially, I don't know what's going to happen to Harrison, we'll have to roll it, but Jack may join them. Jane, who was suffering from stress, I can't remember what caused her that stress, but her stress is healed. Jack really should, Jack needs some body armor. They didn't have, they had helmets. So maybe Jack would have taken one of their helmets. So Jack is wearing a steel helmet. Okay. So we have, so Jack and Jane are resting, they're done. Staff, and I remember, so staff goes, we include in the binoculars, it will go to up to 2d12 plus 1. And because of driving, I believe that the recon roll is -2 when driving. So the recon roll is -2 when driving, which would make him a D12, D10. So staff, D12, D10, he's got his binoculars out, he's stroking, actually let's drop that to D10, D10 because he's not really paying attention because he's also paying attention to McCoy. No hits. And then we've got Doc is driving. So Doc is driving. Doc, how much points has Doc got? Doc does not have enough experience points to actually get a base in driving, sadly. So Doc is driving. So D10. He needs a hit for us to end up where we want to end up. Otherwise, we will probably have to do what Will said and make a roll. A hit. Okay, so we end up where we ended up. So 1 hit for driving. Okay, now We've got a mixture of both off-road and road. So somebody else, I can't remember who made that comment, which was about most of the encounters. But the thing is, you can't. So also, just to speak to this on that, I can't give them every encounter that I turn up and get them to do it because of two things. One, the rules even stipulate that you can avoid encounters as long as you've rolled your recon roll higher than whoever the encounter is. Then you can just bypass the encounter, like we did with the first ambush way back in the early days. 10 weeks ago, we avoided that ambush because it's the most sensible thing to do. So you don't go bundling into anyone who's carrying a firearm because they can kill you. And so we would avoid a lot of the encounters. So, but also equally so as the keeper, the DM, the games master, we don't want to throw loads of encounters at our players because it will kill them. And our intention isn't to kill them, our intention is to tell good stories together, as it's basically role-playing is a story collaboration game. And on that, let's find out what our encounter is. It is the orphans. We've had the orphans before, I think. A farm with children living in. Their parents left months ago to find help. So this is this is everywhere. Road, off-road, on-road, day or night. See, with this, me as a DM, I would not give this encounter at the moment because things are complicated enough as it is. We don't want to throw another complication in because that's just too much. So what we'll do is we'll do another one. We'll just do another one. Let's see what this is. Hunters and their prey. That's only off-road. All right, just to keep. I can't remember who you are. I do apologise. Wheel was easy because it's wheel. Finally, Armageddon. A huge crater from a nuclear strike. 1/5, twice as large. So we've got to go round. Dozens of armoured vehicles here are destroyed beyond repair, but D6 can be scavenged for parts. To pass, the vehicle needs to go off-road and lose 1 heck of movement this shift. All right, so we lose. So we end up on the road instead of. So I've moved us back off the off-road. So whilst driving along, Doc bangs on the brakes. Staff's like, "Oi, what's going on?" Let's try and find that win again. So basically all it means is we've got 1 less hex to shift. Doc says, I'm Staff Sergeant, there's a huge crater, look. And this part here, we'll put it on the map, we'll write, so that big bit there is a big crater on the road, so we're not gonna be able to get past that area. That hex is like devoid, we need to get around that hex. And so what we've basically done is just past Psychow. There was maybe Psychow is which is SYCOW. I don't know if that's how he said. I do apologise. He's devoid of life, and what we can decide to do is we could scavenge. We could decide to do a scavenging hunt around Psychow and see if we can find anything. But it's highly likely because of all of the craters in the area that it's actually a slightly radioactive area. And there might be a possibility that particularly Jane and Doc are quite high on rads, and they might get a bit sick, but we don't actually know this. So what we will do is we will do a whomever has the highest intelligence, which is probably Doc. Maybe Doc will roll medical. So Doc is going to roll a medical check, and he is going to then make a decision. So Doc's medical, so Doc has a D12, D10, D12, D10. So Doc is going to make a medical decision if this might be a high rad area and whether they should spend the next shift exploring the area or they're going to get out. Okay, 3 hits. So Doc is pretty certain, even though this looks very tempting and there's a lot of things around here we could scavenge, these hits are from nuclear warheads. This area is high. I think we should just stay in the vehicle and then get out of this area. So Staff just wants to get out anyway because of McCoy. So we will say that for the day shift, we didn't do weather. So day shift weather is the same as it was beforehand, which means the weather is overcast. And then we will go Jane, Staff, Doc, Jack. Oh, because it's Harrison. It's only Harrison. It's the only reason they're going back. Staff will be mind you, they need some time to get some rest for all of them. So we are going to have to either go cross country. Cross country is going to take, look, cross country from here is going to take, so you can do 1 hex per shift. 1, 2, 3 hexes to get up. So potentially by the end of the day, or we can try going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or if we turn around and come back this way, but come across past Ostresov, then we might be able to race up and through. But I think there's anything that might be vaguely interpreted as a roadblock, we will say we encounter some roadblock around here. And it's not at all. And then we can do either it's a military roadblock or a civilian roadblock, because I've got those gangster blonde wearing shell suits. They like shell suits. You need to know comedy in the 1980s in British comedy. We can get up there basically in a shift. So I am going to say, let's make Staff, who is the de facto leader of the group, he's going to make an intelligence check, and Staff's quite intelligent with a D12. Survival, let's make survival. We'll call it survival. D12, D8. D12, D8. Let's see if Staff says, look, it's going to be risky. I know what happened. I know. Right. 2 hits. It's going to go, look, everyone, it's going to be really risky, but our best option is to just cane it. All right? We'll cane it up the road, go past Ostresov, head up that road up north, and go past. Now, here's the thing. If we hit any roadblock, we've got to be ready. All right? Jack, you got that helmet on. You look like one of them. All right? So, what we're going to do is, because we're going back past the area, we'll grab one of the geezers' jackets. All right? Or, let's see if we're lucky. Let's see if they're lucky and there's a jacket in the vehicle. Okay? We'll use the whole red whatever. So, red is good. Higher, the better. We've got a spade, so that's no good, and an 8, which is dangerously no good. So there is no clothes in this vehicle to help them out. All right, well, we just have to go what you are. You've got like a coat on. You don't have any of our gear on. You look all right. You look kosher with the helmet on. Sit yourself up there and maybe they'll get fooled and they'll let us by. All right? Now, what's going to happen? Anyone stops us, Jane, you bundle out of the car, you get yourself to a nice angle and you lay down some crossfire. All right? Make it precise and take some heads off. Now, Doc, don't get shot. All right? That's your only job, mate. Don't get shot, and when ready, stick your foot down and get through that roadblock. We need to knock them about. I am going to keep McCoy alive and lay down some fire and take some heads off. That's what we're going to do. Soon as you hear me shout, cane it. Soon as you hear me shout, light them up, we do it. That's if we hit a roadblock. Hopefully there's no point, no hassle. Now if we split up, we are going to designate Kepno as our, I can't think of the word, rendezvous? No, there's a bit. I can't remember what the word is. But the bit where they, so basically anytime you do an operation, there's a few things that you need to specify. And one is where you're all going to collect together. I can't think of the word. Someone put the word in the comments. Where you're going to get all together again if you get split up and everything all goes to shit, basically. And that's what they're saying. So Kepno is where we're going to meet up, all right? Ditch the vehicle, ditch any extra stuff. We'll get to Kepno and then we'll make our way up and help your mate Harrison Bot. Voice. He's not my mate. Right there, like, he's not my mate. They're staff. I just know him. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to attempt to turn around, and in this shift, they are going to do what they did last time. And so, staff is going to watch. I wonder if can you do assists? Let's do assist. Let's make Jane watch. Jane is going to sit in the back and Jane will watch as well. So I think only one person is supposed to watch. But if we've got staff and Jane watching, then we'll do, if Jane can get more than 2 hits, If Jane gets more than 2 hits, then staff can. There's an additional watch for staff. Doc is driving, and Jack, we'll call it resting, but he's not because he's going to be tense. So they can travel 8 squares. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means we can get up there. So if this is successful, we can get up there. Otherwise, somewhere along there, we are going to hit a roadblock. So first off, we will do Jane, who is also going to keep her eyes out. M16 locked in her well, as much as she can in a bumpy truck going jiggly jiggly. Jordan Moore, or G.I. Jane, has a D8 D8. D8 D8. -2 is a D6 D6 because she's in the back of a car. No hits. And then we have nil point. Then we have staff, which worked out as D12 D10. Because they're travelling fast. I don't know. Oh, 3 hits. Okay, we like that. Then we have Doc driving, which was just a D10. Yes. So Doc driving, 1 hit. Okay, so he's driving well. And then Jack's on easy street, just resting. So they will get there, this hex, but have used up all of their petrol and be up in the right sort of area. We will do, let's give them, I really want this to be a roadblock. I could just give a roadblock and just call it, there is a roadblock. We will say, we'll do 2 encounters and see what happens. Oh, McCoy heals 1. McCoy is starting to whimper a bit. He's healed 1 because he healed with the other ones healing. So there we go, first one. Final rest. Nuclear strike, no. So how many should we do? Let's do 5. Oh God. Carnage, what's this? Oh, this is Marauders, Carnage. So basically a Soviet vehicle has been hit by Marauders. So maybe Murderous Bastards. What's this one? All right, so they're gonna. This is some kill zone. Soviet forces have set up an ambush in order to capture and kill the PCs. They have spent a stretch setting it up, so we've got a roadblock. All right, so we will. It's only half hour, but we've done some half hour ones. Hopefully that will cut down to being slightly more. So this is going to be a short one. We will have the team is going to come out, turn a road, and then we'll have a roadblock. So let's decide. Let's decide now. So we'll call that kill zone, but we're not going to do. We're not going to do that one. We will do. Let's see what we've got in here. So that one's out of the deck for now. So our question is, red suit, which is helpful. Then it's not a military roadblock. It's some thugs from a stressor who have basically collaborating and have found a way to make some easy money. Black means it's a military and there's going to be an APC there. Diamonds, reds. So it's some thugs have set up some vehicles. So we'll have a couple of vehicles blocking the whole thing. Reds and blacks, are there any heavy weapons? Black means there's heavy weapons. Black 5, which is mildly dangerous, so they've got so they won't have rocket propelled grenades or grenades, but they will have an RPK. So we've got local thugs, RPK. How many does this say? This has the PC's number, so that means there's 4 times 4 thugs. That seems like a reasonable number, doesn't it? 4 thugs, couple of vehicles. This is a sniper with an SVD. No, I think we've had this before, kill zone. I think I've used this one before. So alright, so we're going to have four thugs, roadblock. And that roadblock will be as they are passing the top end of our stress off. So we will say the roadblock is in this square here. So in this passing, so they've got past, so it's trying to stop people coming in. Maybe they bypassed the roadblock over here or didn't notice it, but it's up here stopping people coming in, and they're just going to stop these ones coming out. And we'll then do some persuasion rolls to see if who gets the drop on who. And this may be dangerous, as I think it just, you know, we've normally got the drop, but I don't know if we're going to get the chance here. Maybe actually we're not. We're going to make them be more. We're going to say, all right, let's do this one, because I was just put the cards away. Let's do, are there one or two military types with them? Red, no there isn't. Black, yes there is. Black, yes there is. And we've got a queen, which is very dangerous. So we are going to make them to be outclassed by 2. So we're going to say +2 Soviet troops. So we're going to have 6 against 4. We'll open up next session. I'll set the table up straight away. We'll have a 6 against 4 fight, and we'll see what happens post-fight. I think that's about half hour. Thank you very much for watching. Was a bit of a short one, but was trying to. So basically, I've been very busy, but I really enjoy doing this. But I was quite busy today, but I wanted to get filming, and so I do apologise that it's quite short. But I just wanted to get something filmed because I've had it sitting in the back of my head, and we hate that when you got that thingy, that pressure of doing things. And I really love playing, and so I don't like that. I'd rather to get something done, and then the next game we can have a nice battle and throw some bullets at each other and see who comes out. Poor old McCoy may even try and get involved because it'll be hard to keep him contained. And anyway, enough of that. Thank you very much for watching me witter. Thank you very much for being here. We've now got in the truck, we'll have a nice roadblock, bit of a Barney. It feels a bit better than them traipsing across country. And we'll then see what's happened to Harrison. Has he got found? Also, them bursting through another roadblock means that the captain, Jacob, is definitely going to know there's somebody operating in his area, causing him problems, and he's going to want to find them. And the crew is going to have to start moving swiftly as possible out of the area to save themselves hassles. So they need to move this way pretty sharpish. And in 10 days, they haven't traveled very far. So let's find out what happens in a roadblock situation in the next game of Twilight 2000. I look forward to it. I hope you do too. See you then. Goodbye.